pages this morning is adapted by a story from Gary Kowalski, Reverend Gary Kowalski, who was a minister who served throughout the United States, but also focused in New England. And his original story is titled, "It's Not What You Believe, But How." So this is my bag. And you all have a bag too, although it might look different or you might not be able to see it at all. You see, because every time a child is born, it's given a bag, and the bag is empty, because this is the bag that we all have that holds our beliefs. So a lot of people are given stuff to put in their bags. I was one of those people. For me, what was in my bag, or what I was given to put in my bag, was Jesus and full submersion baptism and an intense fear of change. That's because I was raised fundamentalist Baptist, which is a type of Christianity. And a lot of people who are raised Christians are given stuff that should go in their bag. Like Christians probably have Jesus in their bag. And Muslims should have Allah and a belief in the Prophet Muhammad. And Buddhists should probably have the Four Noble Truths. Pardon me, Dana, would you please come and get the cat? It is very hard to do a Time for All Ages that has props such as these tiny little things with a furry cat that has decided that she needs to have my props. So pardon me, she wants what's in my bag. Okay, so where I left you off, Buddhists. Buddhists probably have the Four Noble Truths in their bag. But Unitarian Universalists don't. We don't tell you what to believe, and we're not going to hand you a bag full of beliefs that you should follow. Instead, we choose our own beliefs. And what's in my bag right now is humanism, a belief in the power of community, God, or agnosticism. That's what's in my bag right now. And your bag probably has different things in it. Can you take a second to think about what might be in your bag? So, since our faith means we all have different bags, and what is inside of these bags are not holding us together, what actually connects us? It turns out it's not what's in the bag that matters, because we care about what's in your bag. We don't want it to hurt you, and we don't want it to hurt other people, but it doesn't really matter to us what's in your bag. What matters to us is how you hold your bag. For example, some people hold their bag of beliefs like this. It is closed super, super tight. It is hugged to their chest. Nothing is going to get out, and nothing can get into this bag. This is my bag, and you cannot take it from me. And then, of course, you have people who kind of are lackadaisical with their bag. They're not really paying attention. They might flip the bag around. They might let their cat take pieces of the bag, just walking along, and all of a sudden, there goes transubstantiation. But you know what? Suddenly, oh my gosh, did you hear what I saw on the internet? Into the bag. And then there are people who I have met who use their bag as a weapon. These people are tough because their bag may look beautiful. It may say things like they believe in peace and love and treating others like they would want to be treated. as long as you are just like them. Because if you're not, then they start hitting you with the bag. But you see, Unitarians, we should be holding our bag a different way. We should have an open top. We should be able to put things into our bag if they might help us. We should be able to take things out of our bag if they're no longer helping us. We should be able to see what is in other people's bags, because maybe it's good for you, but maybe it's something that might work well. Because you see, it isn't about what we believe, but how we hold our beliefs in the larger world. When somebody says to you, "What do Unitarian Universalists believe?" maybe the next time you can tell them, it's really not about what we believe, but how we hold those beliefs out into the world, how we acquire them, how we share them, and above all else, it's what you do with them that counts. Thank you. And that is the end of my time for all ages. Thank you. And now, one thing we do carry in our bags is a belief in generosity. In particular, the generosity of support for this congregation. We do not have ushers today, so there's nobody walking around with a box on a long stick that can knock things over, like a certain someone on Christmas Eve hit the menorah. That won't happen today, but we are supported by the many gifts given by our members and friends, gifts of time, gifts of talent, energy, and commitment, and of course, our financial support. Even though we are not physically together right now, you can still make a financial contribution by sending a check to FCU at 19 Foster Street, Littleton, Mass. 01460, or by going to our website, fculittle.org, and clicking on the donate button. Thank you very much.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace.
Monica, please unmute.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, excellent. Now is the time for our candles of caring. We don't actually have candles, but if you go ahead and raise up your hand, then I'm talking about your digital hands. Or if you can't find that, then this is good too. We'll find you. Most weeks we have a tradition of connecting in community by lifting up our joys or concerns and lighting candles. If you have a joy or sorrow you'd like to share, please raise your virtual hand and Mike or I will call on you. Are there any candles this morning?
Neela, would you like to speak? Please unmute.
Yes. This is a candle of sorrow. I lost my oldest, dearest friend on December 23rd. Alana Rubenfeld was a conductor for 10 years, and then she became a psychologist, and she developed a whole branch of psychology called Rubenfeld Synergy, trained thousands of people all over the world, was really a remarkable woman, and I will miss her very much.
Thank you, Neela. Christine, would you please unmute?
Yes, I may repeat this next Sunday, just when we have the larger congregation here. But my mother, Alice Harding, died on Christmas Day. She was 99 and she lived an incredible life of kindness and generosity. And this is a candle of joy, but there will be plenty of sorrow to come. So, thank you.
Thank you, Christine.
Are there any more candles this morning? Okay, then please.
Wait. Go ahead, Debbie.
Thank you. Just waiting to see if perhaps someone else might light a candle for our dear Prizzle. And some of you know, and now more of you will know that she is doing very well. She is in Nashua for maybe just another few days. And she texted this morning to say that she's receiving occupational therapy and physical therapy. And it's such a joy. And she's doing fabulous. And as always, hold her in your heart, please, and continue to send that healing energy. We love you, Prizzle.
Thank you, Debbie.
All right, anyone else? Seeing no physical hands or digital ones, let's proceed. Everyone, please join with me in the spirit of meditation or prayer. Once again, we come together in love and trust to share our deepest joys and sorrows. We lift these as we unite in a time of sacred silence. Blessed be and amen.
And now is the time in our service for our first opportunity for community sharing. We plan to have two separate times. So after a few people go, based upon what hands I see, I will take a pause for a musical interlude, and then we will open with our second. I'm going to ask that you raise your virtual hand. And if you have a reading or a poem you would like to share, and I will call on you. When I call on you, please unmute yourself. Thank you. Sarah, would you like to go ahead?
I would. Thank you, Cindy. I really enjoyed your Time for All Ages. And what I'm about to read for you this morning is a poem, but it is something that has long been in my bag, and I'm happy to share it with all of the rest of you. The worst thing we ever did was put God in the sky, out of reach, pulling the divinity from the leaf, sifting out the holy from our bones, insisting God isn't bursting dazzlement through everything we've made. A hard commitment to see as ordinary, stripping the sacred from everywhere to put a cloud man elsewhere, prying closeness from your heart. The worst thing we ever did was take the dance and the song out of prayer, make it sit up straight and cross its legs, removed it of rejoicing, wiped clean its hip sway, its questions, its ecstatic yowl, its tears. The worst thing we ever did is pretend God isn't the easiest thing in this universe, available to every soul in every breath. This is a poem by a woman named Shellen Harkin, and it holds a lot of meaning for me because I do see the sacred in all that is. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Anna, would you like to unmute?
Thanks, Cindy. I also very much enjoyed your Time for All Ages. Thank you. Today, I wanted to, what's weighing on my heart is just hoping that 2023 will be a year of more peace. Here's a reading from Thich Nhat Hanh. Our capacity to make peace with another person and with the world depends very much on our capacity to make peace with ourselves. If we are at war with our parents, our family, our society, or our church, there's probably a war going on inside us also. So the most basic work for peace is to return to ourselves and create harmony among the elements within us, our feelings, our perceptions, and our mental states. We must recognize and accept the conflicting elements that are within us and their underlying causes. It takes time, but the effort always bears fruit. When we have peace within, real dialogue with others is possible. Again, Thich Nhat Hanh. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Neela, would you like to unmute?
So this is a poem by my lifelong friend and former husband, Bob Horn. It came out of a little conversation he had with my 9-year-old daughter. And again, it follows right on Cindy's presentation. Tell me the name of God, Daddy. Tell me the name again. There will be many names of God, my dear. The wise use various names. The Hindu holy book says he is Brahma, the creator, Shiva, the auspicious one, Indra, the Lord. He is immortal, the highest, the self-ruled. He verily is Vishnu, the all-pervading, the vital energy. He is Kala, the destroyer. But didn't we call him Jehovah yesterday? Yes, the Jehovah, the Almighty, omniscient, that means all-knowing. The omnipresent, that means everywhere. Do they really call God Mr. Everywhere? Yes, they do. Mr. and Mrs. Everywhere. Holy Mr. Everything. But that includes you and me too, doesn't it, Daddy? Yes, it means all of us. Tell me some more names of God, Daddy. Well, Christians call him Jesus the Christ, the Father, and the Holy Spirit. Muslims call him Allah, and Sufis have at least 100 names like Al-Awal, the first, and Al-Akir, the last, Al-Hadi, the guide, and Al-Sabur, the patient. Is that all of the names of God, Daddy? Not by a long shot. There is the life force, the élan vital, the consciousness, and old Bucky Fuller calls him the unknowable totality of generalized principles. And some cyberneticists call him the system that includes all other systems, the supra system. There are people who feel uncomfortable calling God by his usual name, so they say things like the creative evolution, the process, the absolute, or even, I don't know. Are there any other names of God, Daddy? Yes, there are the sacred names which you only utter when you have prepared yourself. How do you prepare yourself, Daddy? Excuse me. Okay. You empty your mind and let your love come out. Then what can you call God? Every time that happens, you will know the name to use. Well, what's the oldest name of God, Daddy? What's the oldest name? I think it must be Om, which is what they called God in Sanskrit, an ancient language, and it means the vibration from which all other vibrations come. Well, what's a vibration, Daddy? It's an invisible wave of energy. Physicists sometimes think all matter, that is, everything, is a kind of wiggly energy. What name of God should I use, Daddy? What do we use in our family? Well, this week, I think we'll call him Old Mr. Wiggly Everywhere. The wise call God by various names.
Thank you, Neela. Patty, would you like to unmute?
Hi, this is a poem that was shared with me by Janet Dustin, and it pretty much sums up what 2022 was like for me, and it has a happy ending. So I'd like to read it for you. When the rhythm of the heart becomes hectic, time takes on the strain until it breaks. Then all the unattended stress falls in on the mind like an endless increasing weight. The light in the mind becomes dim. Things you could take in stride before now become laborsome events of will. Weariness invades your spirit. Gravity begins falling inside you, dragging you down every bone. The tide you never valued has gone out, and you are marooned on unsure ground. Something within you has closed down, and you cannot push yourself back to life. You have been forced to enter empty time. The desire that drove you has relinquished. There is nothing else to do now but rest and patiently learn to receive the self you have forsaken in the race of days. At first, your thinking will darken and sadness take over the listless weather. The flow of unwept tears will frighten you. You have traveled too far over false ground. Now your soul has come to take you back. Take refuge in your senses. Open up to all the small miracles you rushed through. Become inclined to watch the way of rain when it falls slow and free. Imitate the habits of twilight, taking time to open the well of color that fosters the brightness of day. Draw alongside the silence of stone until its calmness can claim you. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Stay clear of those vexed in spirit. Learn to linger around some of the ease who feel someone of ease who feels they have all the time in the world. Gradually, you will return to yourself, having learned a new respect for your heart and the joy that dwells far within slow time. Thanks.
Thank you, Patty. And now we'd like to take a brief musical interlude with I Am Light by India Ari.
Things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light. Oh, light. Yeah. Oh, light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. Yeah. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
Thank you. Beautiful. Now we're going to have our second opportunity for sharing of your input to the service today, your poem, your writing, and your thoughts. So if you could raise your virtual hand, I'll call on you for this session. And so don't be shy. This is for the timid, this second session. David, can you unmute?
I'll start by repeating what everybody else has said and thank Cindy for her marvelous Time for All Ages. That was really wonderful. And you were reminded me of my original bag, which started like yours in a Protestant Christian church. A lot of pieces came out, but there's one glistening piece that's never left. And so I moved to share it again. You've all heard it before. 1 Corinthians 13. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give away all that I have, and if I deliver my body to be burned, but have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful. It is not arrogant or rude. Love does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrong, but rejoices in the right. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. As for prophecy, it will pass away. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will pass away. For our knowledge is imperfect, and our prophecy is imperfect. But when the perfect comes, the imperfect will pass away. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall understand fully, even as I have been fully understood. So, faith, hope, love abide, these three, but the greatest of these is love.
Thanks, David. I see Cindy.
Thank you. I'd like to share a poem by William Cullen Bryant titled The Journey of Life. Beneath the waning moon, I walk at night and muse on human life, for all around are dim, uncertain shapes that cheat the sight, and pitfalls lurk in shade along the ground, and broken gleams of brightness here and there glance through and leave unwarmed the death-like air. The trampled earth returns a sound of fear, a hollow sound, as if I walked on tombs, and lights that tell of cheerful homes appear far off and die like hope amid the glooms. A mournful wind across the landscape flies, and the wide atmosphere is full of sighs. And I, with faltering footsteps, journey on, watching the stars that roll the hours away, till the faint light that guides me now is gone, and like another life, the glorious day shall open o'er me from the imperial height with warmth and certainty and boundless light. Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy. I see our other deacon, Monica. You want to unmute?
Hello, everyone. I often think of this particular poem at the beginning of any new year and decided to choose it as a selection to read to you guys today. This is from The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. Of course it is. It's one of my favorite books ever. So, and this is a song that's first sung by the main character Bilbo when he leaves the Shire and is setting off for Rivendell, and it's often brought up by other characters throughout the book. The road goes ever on and on, down from the door where it began. Now far ahead the road has gone, and I must follow if I can. pursuing it with eager feet until it joins some larger way where many paths and errands meet, and whither then, I cannot say. The road goes ever on and on, out from the door where it began. Now far ahead the road has gone, and let us follow it who can. Let them a journey new begin, but I at last with weary feet will turn towards the lighted end, my evening rest and sleep to meet. So, and let us all join in our roads, because you never know when you set your foot on a road exactly where it will lead you in the end.
Thanks, Monica.
Sure.
I'd like to share something from the Sweetzer's Christmas card from a year ago. And I'm sure these are the words of Doug, our friend. Here now plus here now is here now. Here now times here now remains here now. Here past times here past remains here past. We live in the present. We remain in the present. Our love remains to sustain us. Anila, would you like to unmute and
Yeah, but I'm waiting to see if there's anyone else who hasn't read yet who'd like to do that.
No one else has their hand up.
I don't see anybody
All
else.
right. Well, I have a short one to follow on David's offering. This is by E.E. Cummings. It's called Let It Go, Let it go, the smashed word broken, open vow, or the oath cracked lengthwise. Let it go. It was sworn to go. Let them go, the truthful liars and the false fair friends and the boths and the neithers. You must let them go. They were born to go. Let all go. The big, small, middling, tall, bigger, really, the biggest and all things. Let all go, dear. So comes love.
I think we have a theme of love. I love it. Thanks, Neela. Is there anybody else who might want to say something before we close? I don't see anybody stepping forward, so I will proceed with our closing words. Thank you for joining us here today. We'll keep the Zoom open following the prelude for anyone who'd like to spend some time together. Please raise your hands toward the edge of your screen so that we virtually connect. Or place your hands together, or if you have a loved one in your room, join hands with them as we share our closing words. They are adapted words of Jeffrey Sugden Arnold, the abbot of the Zen Mountain Monastery in Mount Tremper, New York. Dear friends, as we stand in the threshold of a new year, may we join our aspirations together to heal the suffering and help bring real peace into the lives of every creature. Within the gift of our mindfulness practice, let us appreciate everyday gestures of kindness while finding opportunities for larger action. May we have faith in and see the ever-present light that abides within every darkened corner. May we appreciate the great treasure that we have together as a community and offer this refuge to the world. May we move forward with intention. Blessed be and amen. Now we will have our postlude.
For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. Oh, for each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. Oh, for each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings, and we are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage, fathers of time, daughters of dust, and the sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy, brothers of love, lovers of life, and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth, keepers of faith, makers of peace, and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers. We are our grandfather's dreamings, and we are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage, fathers of time, daughters of dust, and the sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy, brothers of love, lovers of life, and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers. We are our grandfather's dreamings, and we are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who